fights that way and really be a damage threat. A Gwen does fit that bill.
I think this makes more sense to me. Because I think that we have actually seen both sides of this matchup being picked.
Oh my goodness. It was Kiana in a loss against Peanut a million years ago. Okay, well, Faker also finding a really nice trade into the Twisted Fate here. As a flash forward from Showmaker to set up for Lucid making his way in. He's got a bit of extra damage with the red already prepped. And now Faker finds himself behind enemy lines and will get Scry. Does have a blast cone at the ready and then just teleports back to the turret. So he will be able to keep himself alive. But that is...
Doesn't look like it's anything besides a good amount of experience.
Step up, Pulverize does come in as Doran's gonna get pulled back! Doesn't get hit by the turret, but he doesn't need it! Solo kill from Xiu! Okay,
the impact it's gonna have on the matchup as Doran is just desperately trying to get this wave in, and that is fine. He would have been okay if he just got the wave in, but just wants to get a little bit of damage in, and again, if the plan always was to lane swap, then it even does less. Showmaker doesn't have TP, or a flash rather.
Yep, doesn't have a way out of this one. Faker doesn't find that Q, but I don't think he needed to, as there's the Nimbus Strike. Down goes towards Gumayushi.
This does create another game, though, where I feel like it's somewhat of a flip side of last game, where Barrel should be fine here. It feels somewhat the opposite, where I think T1, even though they have really good side laning, also have an insane 5v5. Right, and that's oh, in we go!
Yeah, Destiny comes on through as the flash is going to be flashed away from, so no Pulverize there for Barrel. As aiming is going to move down. That will be the last grub secured here by DK.
Okay, so we trade flash for flash. Wukong not having flash is a big deal, but that is Showmaker's first ultimate, not quite getting a kill, which is something that, as the team playing into TF, you're going to be happy about.
Xiu is not doing as well as he was earlier on, as Barrel looks for a Pulverize onto the clock. He does manage to make that one work as he powers up the Q and is just going to be walking forward.
Yep. And then Faker didn't die. This time around, it's the opposite. Faker flashes onto Showmaker as they are still going here, but I don't think Xiu actually wants to force an all-in unless Lucid is going for the long wraparound.
Yep, Xiu looking for a bit of an angle here as he flashes, gets the all-out, as now Doran just getting himself out of here.
A little early, maybe.
Lucid was just taking away the enemy Krugs, but they're setting up a dive. That is going to be the plan.
Oh, Owner's on his way. I don't know if he'll be in time. Counter-Strike, is it up?
Yeah, it does have flash as well. Doran does have some outplay potential, but the supreme display of talent comes down. He gets the double stun, as now Owner will find the Cyclone for the cleanup. There it is. And T1, oh man, sacrifice Doran. Yep, Counter-Strike and naming his cooldowns, things like this. Knows that this is coming.
The fact he gets the Counter-Strike.
I mean, if he had have actually died immediately, then it would have been good for DK, but survived.
I mean, actually, DK, as they should contest for sure.
Well, Carrier is going to try and deny it as the Destiny comes down, gives them full information of what's happening here around this Herald. Let's see whether Lucid can make something happen.
She was running.
Yeah, Carrier goes in, finds a Magnus Storm onto only Barrel. Not exactly the optimal target. A supreme display of talent also not getting too much done, but aiming. Going to be able to pick up his first kill of this fight is now Showmaker.
She was here.
Flashes over the wall. Doran looking for an angle onto Lucid, who goes into stealth. And Zeus protects Lucid. Doran is going to go down as now Faker doing battle with the cow. And she was flashing on top of him, aiming, trying to get amongst it, as Owner's over here as well, and that's just a 1-for-0, but Lucid goes over to the Drake, and they should be able to take that too.
Atlas, I figured it out. That is Rise Group, baby!
Oh my goodness, it is Rise Group, baby, but the Legend Group is not used to it.
They're being pulled into the dirt!
Oh
They're fighting in the mud!
And look, they've got really clean clothes. DK have had time to buy their galoshes.
As they're still going!
Yeah, it is going to be the Rift Herald secured here by Ona. Collects the eye there at the same time as Showmaker doesn't quite have that gold card. And Ona does just worry.
We might find out as Xiu will be able to get the turret here.
But it is traded, and who managed to get it? It was T.
As Owner is on vision. See if a trap is set up. It's really hard to actually lock down the Wukong's. Oh, Barrel!
Yeah, Barrel going to find the Pulverize here as he's looking to try and turn it onto Gumayushi. Missed by the Slurkle, though. And Barrel does have to blow the ulti. Faker possibly out of position, and Lucid can just dance towards him. He gets the redemption, but I don't think he's realm warping out of this one, and aiming secures his second kill of the game. make it
Finding
5.
one member to gold card, take down, and then go from there.
Well, you got to teleport in here from said TF, as the Rift Herald hasn't quite started her charge just yet. Will finally get into position, but she's not going anywhere. And that turret is going to stay healthy.
Barrel's
Barrel,
low.
not so much. As Lucid trying to get some poke damage. Be a Drake, but the problem is, the Drake is right next to an Otacon. Showmaker
Behind him.
Oh no.
Barrel's in that little pocket of vision, I think.
The Assassin Cow, but we're not going to know for the next little while as Cassante is showing on vision. The rest of DK are going to back.
There he is!
There's the Destiny! He pulls off Gumayushi as Shiu dives in. Guma just flashes away though, and Shiu is instantly evaporated. And now Faker is going to make his way in. Beryl just gets him out of there with a headbutt. But without Shiu, DK may just lose the Otacon and they may lose more as well. The flash counter-strike from Doran! And another double comes through for Ona, as now Carrier's just picking them up one after the other. Lucid lying on the floor, and aiming is taking it out of
They
turret.
get the objective. They got a ton of bounty gold as well. If they get the inner as well, this is going to be a monumental swing. Looks like that might be the case. And
Yep, and that is the exact gold lead DK had before they went for that Otacon.
he's going to chew for that very quickly.
Yes.
It's a lot better than last game. He's back in again. It's Guma.
Yeah, Beryl is flashing forward. There's a Supreme Display talent, and down he will go. They make sure of it there as well, but the Cyclone for the follow-up. Showmaker not going to get knocked up though, and he does find a card. Isn't going to be able to use it, as we can see is Shiu. Still getting taken down relatively low, but DK this time already. Shiu on a flank angle, level 16 here for Showmaker, as there's the Destiny. In goes Showmaker and finds the gold card onto Faker. Great knock up there from Beryl at the same time as the burst was huge. But can they actually lock down a target? It's a Magnet Storm from Carrier. Doesn't quite get enough done, but it's a trade of these supports, and Doran decides now is the time to go in. Aiming does manage to get the cleanse off, and he takes down the Jax. It is Lucid that falls at the same time, so in the end, a 2-for-2 trade. As the gold card comes through, Faker a little worse for wear now, as Showmaker looking very healthy. Gold card in position, and T1 so starting off this Baron.
There we go again.
Be a bit dangerous, but the teleport comes through from Doran. He gets on top of Showmaker now, whose gold card does absolutely nothing, and he ults. The Destiny does come on down, as now Aiming is trying to deal with Doran, who also goes gold, and then the redemption is going to be there. Doran for Baron. I think T1 is saying worth on that one, as Aiming, yeah, he might get another kill, but these turrets are just going to start falling.
And Lucid attempting to flash over, steal the Nash, not going to be the case. And as you highlight, that's a trade you'll take any day of the week of your T1.
The selflessness of Doran once again, ladies
It knows
and
no
gentlemen.
bounds. Should also set up for a second Drake for them.
Well, Shiu's going in. Beryl with a bit of a bait and switch, but Shiu may just go out, and not all out, just, okay, he does manage to make it. But I thought that was going to be a repeat of what happened around that Otacon fight, as well as Showmaker able to get some damage onto Faker here as well. Okay, they are still holding on, but they're not going to be able to take this.
Because with a lot of resource being thrown to Shiu, they do get the sums, right? Like Shiu now doesn't have flash, Showmaker doesn't have. Lucid about to ding 16, that is a big spike, and Aiming also now has the IE done, so he does a lot of damage!
Destiny comes in, Beryl looking for an angle, but doesn't quite get the pulverize where he wants it, as Gumayushi is able to flash his way out, and they dive on top of Aiming! The flanking Yunara! That was not what we wanted to see, but T1, they turned on a dime. It's a big realm warp to get T1 into the DK base, as Beryl decides he wants in on that party. I don't know whether he necessarily should have, but now T1 are going to make a big dent in this top side of the map, and this is the first big advantage that we've seen so far in this game, and it may only last a few minutes because T1 are looking to just end it.
I think they can, Atlas!
Oh, this is ridiculous because it felt like it was so close for so long, and now it is just done. Doran thwacking away at the Nexus, as Showmaker is going to go gold, and Shiu not going to be able to find the angle, and the Nexus will now go down. T1 will even out the series here in our first best of 5 of the playoffs.